Good evening, good evening. Welcome back to Armchair Pundits, the post-match Liverpool review show. As you can see, Wale is back with me. How you doing, bro?
I wish I was here for the last game. I don't really want to be here for
Yeah,
this game, but
I know. The honeymoon period is officially over. Let's just put it
over.
that way. So it's never nice for it to happen. I didn't expect us to lose at home in slots 10 years so early. So that is worrying. But we'll get into more of that in a bit.
Yeah.
So give me your take on what you saw.
Do you know what? First off, we looked a bit sluggish to start. They had about two openings in the first half, but we looked like we was getting into the game. Diaz hit the post. Trent nearly scored from a corner. And I thought, you know what? Second half, okay, I know we've been slow starting. Second half, we'll probably kick on. Second half, it's like they were running through treacle, and the final passes, yeah, man, the final passes were just really, really poor. So that I think it felt like almost like the international break came at the worst time for us because we just seemed to be so out of it. Really, really poor performance.
It's weird because I've said it for years. Whenever we have a break, we always come back looking sluggish, always. And when you have a new manager, you kind of get the feeling, okay, maybe it's different because the regime is different. What they're hearing is different. Everything should be different from manager to manager. But it was the same, if I'm completely honest with you. I think we had a similar one against Nottingham Forest the year before, but we went their ground and lost 1-0.
Yeah.
And I think that was after an international break, and that was an early kickoff. And it was the same thing: sluggish, sloppy. The same problem that we have, which I was hoping that a new style of football could alleviate, but not having the requisite skills to break down a team that's come to say, okay, we're not doing anything but sitting here. Now you do what you can do. And I think I said it in the WhatsApp group. It was the perfect away performance from Nune. He's done it before. He's done it to Man City when he was at Tottenham. He's done it when he's been at Fulham. And he just sits in, and then closes the gaps in because he didn't play with any wingers. And when I looked at the team, I was like, who's playing where? They've got no wingers. Okay, he's gonna make everything condensed in the middle and force us out wide and see what we can do. And he did. And as soon as he brought on the wingers, that was it. The game opened up and we not fell apart, but we didn't adjust quick enough.
Yeah, totally agree. I think that Nuno's plan was to get to the hour, sit deep, get to the hour, then for the last half an hour, use that pace and use the abilities down the wings. I'll tell you what was clever that he did. Excuse me. I noticed that throughout the game, what's his name? Yates, I think it is, was on top of McAllister. Anytime McAllister would try and get the ball, this guy was either fouling him, getting the ball off of him, interrupting his play. He wasn't giving him an inch, and that basically affected how McAllister played. So McAllister and I got into these battles with him that lasted until he came off. It was a very good tactically. I can't knock Nuno's performance as a manager and what Forest did, but I think if we had played the final balls through properly, this would have been a different result. A lot of it came at the final end when we were doing the final pass. Just wasn't there. Very, very loose passing today. Very loose.
It might sound height-sign-ish, but I didn't think before kickoff he was going to go with the exact same team. I looked at it and I thought, okay, Nuez has been chomping at a bit. He must have been chomping at a bit in training to get a game. Jota is known for picking up injuries, so he's played for Portugal. Maybe you start Nunes. Diaz had been away. Maybe you start Gakpo. Yes, he played 90 minutes in the last one, I think on Tuesday for Holland, but maybe you mix it up a little bit. Central midfield, there's not much you could do. Obviously, it was well known that, what's his name? As you said, McAllister picked up an injury during the international break. And in the second game, he only played 25 minutes as a sub. He came on as a sub. So I thought, okay, maybe he is going to rest him and Jones is back from injury. But at the same time, I thought, no, go in strong and then take him off early. So I don't know. Do you think that it's a possibility that he took them lightly?
I don't think so. I think the fact he played the same team is actually a credit to him, saying that he was taking him quite strongly. Because if he'd have thrown in
Mm,
a Jones and thrown in a Nunes, I would have looked at it and thought, well, why are you making changes? I mean, Diaz for me should have started because he scored
mm,
in the international. He scored.
yeah,
Did he score in a lot? He scored against United 2 goals. He's in a good
yeah.
vein of form. So if you take him out of the team, it's coming like you're almost trying to take Forest a bit too light. But I just felt that
Okay, yeah.
I felt he put out the right team. I felt that the team itself, even the substitutions, I felt was the right ones at the time. And I can see why people might take issue with them. But personally, I thought McAllister was having issues with Yates. Diaz
Mm,
seemed to have died off near the end, near the part where he came off. And Jota didn't seem like he was really in the game. Aside from, I think he had a header or a chance. I think he had. I don't remember him doing much else in the game.
no.
So I wasn't too upset with the changes he made. I think it's just that the players actually didn't perform as good as they could have done. Definitely not.
Yeah, I agree. Jota wasn't very good against Man United either, in all honesty.
No.
He was busy, but wasn't very good, and it was similar today. But it was just, we lack a creative player, a proper creative
Yeah.
player. So Bosley is busy, he's good, he's got a good long shot, and he showed us that last season. But in terms of little bits of magic like we've had in the past, 'cause these kind of games, if you can't break them down, then you have to have a piece of magic or someone that can shoot from distance.
Yeah.
I think straight after the game, ironically, they were showing old Liverpool games, and they're showing games that were tight. And I think Henderson bangs one in from outside against Man City. There
Yeah.
was another one where
Yes.
Coutinho bangs one in, and it's like, I think against Arsenal. It's like, these are kind of games where you get that one goal, and we get that goal, we probably win 3-0 today.
Yeah.
It's that.
Totally
It's like
agree.
that.
Totally
But
agree.
now it's a time for us to see what he's about, because you've had our first loss, and it's a bad one because it's Nottingham Forest and it's at home. Obviously, this whole 69 years business, or since 1969, one of the two,
Yeah.
that's going to be highlighted, but we haven't been playing them for 50 odd years. Let's be real about it.
Yeah.
There's many of those years where they were not in our league.
Yep.
So it hasn't
Yep.
been that long. But yes, using at home is poor. But now we have to see the resolve. We've got Champions League in midweek, which is bound to make changes. What does he do then? But I'm pretty sure we're at home our next game as well. So, go on.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what I did find interesting, and what I think we did learn about him, in spite of the fact it was a defeat, is that he's
Mhm.
not averse to making tactical changes that are totally different. So throwing Trent
Yeah.
into midfield, for example, go into a back three, that's something we haven't seen necessarily over the last 7 years. It's normally been like for like substitutions or variations of the front three, or a change of the attackers, as opposed to a tactical overhaul is what he did today. And I thought it was a brave thing to do. Whether it was the right thing to do, clearly the result would say it wasn't. But I think he made changes that should have had the right effect if players
Yeah.
had been playing in form. I can't say he made the wrong changes. I just think the players didn't execute what needed to be done properly.
I think what did slightly worry me is how unfit is our new signing Kaiser, because
Yes.
this was the perfect opportunity when, okay, he's playing rubbish. Salah is playing absolutely rubbish, and we now have a right winger that can actually play there naturally. And I just thought he's been training for the 2 weeks. Yes, he didn't play preseason games, but he did preseason with Juventus.
Yeah.
They didn't just keep him out completely. So I thought, yeah, put him on the bench, and then if you got 10, 15 minutes, get that out of him. And it could have been a game changer for us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's disappointing. Listen, I don't want to sound too sour, so I'll give credit to
Yeah.
Nuno. Like you said yourself, technically it was a tactical masterclass. It was a way to go away from home against the big teams and win the game, and he did that. So we'll move on to our player ratings, which will be interesting. So I'll let you start, Alison.
I'm going to give Allison I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I would have said an 8, and I might be a bit harsh, but I'm always, as a goalkeeper myself, I'm always of the view that if a keeper doesn't dive, for a shot,
Mm.
it means there's always the chance of, if you'd have dived, could you have reached it? I'm not saying he could have made a save, but I think that by him making that dive, I know, okay,
Mm.
you know what, you can't be beaten. It almost looked like he was expecting to go past the post the way he was looking as it went in. So I didn't feel like he was prepared or was looking at it that a shot's going to come. So for me, I'll give him a 7. He made back 2 good saves in the game as well. So I will give him a 7 for that.
It's a funny thing you said that, because I was watching a clip on YouTube just now, and who's his name? Oh, I forgot his name now. The goalkeeper, former Newcastle goalkeeper, Shay Given.
Okay, Shay Given, yeah.
Shay Given, he said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
He said that him not diving, he said, I'm not saying that he would have saved it, but as a goalkeeper, I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't he dive?
Yes.
Because you never know what could have happened if he had dived. He could have got a fingertip to it or something. So he said he thought it was strange, someone of Alisson's caliber not diving for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He agrees with you.
And I get he might have been blindsided, but it's still, you still know in that sort of angle, you set yourself that somebody might try and do a curler. The defender blocks the near post. You're meant to be covering the far post. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can go with that. I'll give him a 7 as well, because I'm not sure if that's a fault. The goal is his fault, because it literally does hit the post as well.
Yeah.
It kisses the post and goes in. And I partially put blame to Conor Bradley on the goal, because he lets him inside too easily. If you watch Hudson-Odoi play football, he does not go down the left-hand side. Yeah. He cuts in 100 times out of 100 and tries to shoot from there. So you just don't. You have to cut it off. You have to cut it off. So he's young. He was freshly on, but So for me, I'll go with Robertson. I don't know. I think I would give him a 6.5.
That's 0.5 more than me.
No, 6. I was thinking, I was deliberately been 6.5 and 6, but he just wasn't on it today for me. It was a lot of huff and puff. Yeah. So 6.5.
I think he was quite easily beaten as well when Elanga came on. Straight away got the yellow card, was beaten very easily. I wasn't too keen on that. He you know what it looks like? He looks like he's coming to the end of his time. And I don't think he's going to have another 2 more seasons with us, if up to that. Don't think so at all.
True. Van Dijk, what'd you give him?
I'd give Van Dijk a 8. I think of the defenders, he seemed to be the more assured and the better one of all of them. So I'd give Van Dijk an 8, to be honest with you.
Okay, I've given him a 7.5. He wasn't at fault for the goal, so I can't really pin that on him. And like you said, he was probably the best of the bunch. But I don't know, I find it hard. When we lose 1-0 at home, I find it hard to give anyone an 8. 7.5. Kanate, I give him a 7.
I'll give him a
similarly,
6.
He just 6.
I'll give him a 6.
I looked at him. I don't think he did anything wrong. I'll be honest. I could have forgotten some stuff because I missed about 5 minutes of the game, or maybe 5-10 minutes of the game. So there could have been a mistake or 2 that he made in there, but I don't remember him making any mistakes. So I can't really drop him down that badly.
I think for the goal, if you're the defender and you're like doing the shadowing thing, trying to like stop the shot, then either you stop the shot or you make that shot become nowhere near the goal.
Even harder.
If you're the person that's just blocking the view of the keeper, if that's what we're saying happened with Alisson, then you have to make sure you block the shot. You can't allow a man to have a curler from that sort of distance right in front of the box. Doesn't make sense. No, definitely not.
Okay, I have to look at that goal again, because I didn't notice that part of it. But that's good analysis. I'll have a look at that. Trent, what are you giving Trent?
I'm giving Trent a 6.5. I think Trent in the first half, he was really good, as in going forward. He nearly scored from the corner. He had a couple chances as well. But then the second half, he faded badly. And for the goal, I'll have to see it again, but I believe it was him that lost the ball in the box. No.
It was Nunes that lost the ball. Yeah, Nunes lost the ball into the box.
Okay. Yeah. But it's for me, I didn't feel like and his passing, when it came to his passing for the final third, when he was in midfield, and even when he was like deeper back in right back, his final passing wasn't on job today. So for me, it just wasn't the same Trent we expected to see. especially given his England performance. I expected to see that running into the game today.
I'll go the same 6.5. Again, I was looking at him as 6 or 6.5, but I didn't think he was worse than Robertson, so I can't give him a worse score than Robbo. I've probably given Robertson too high, to be honest. Yeah, his passing in midfield wasn't great. There were a few decent passes that he made, but at the same time, our players were really poor. So they made poor runs. There was poor movement. So even when he was making passes that could have looked really good, players went in a different direction. Or they didn't control it properly. But yeah, there was nothing to shout about for him today. So 6.5. McAllister.
I'd give McAllister a 6.
A 6?
I'll give him a 6, yeah. I'll give him a 6.
Yeah.
I think Yates was all over him. Yates was just all over him. He didn't give him any opportunity to move. And that limited his game. And now you haven't mentioned about the injury. I'd actually forgotten that. And I think that also impacted his performance today. So yeah, McAllister, for me, 6 definitely.
Yeah, they got into him early. I think literally first few kicks of the game, someone booted him in his stomach.
That was Yates.
So
I think it was Yates.
Yeah, see, there you go. So yeah, he allowed Yates to make him play his game rather than play the McAllister game.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well. Gravenberch, I actually thought Gravenberch was okay, to be honest with you. Obviously, wasn't fantastic. So he gets a 7.5. Like I said, I can't see myself giving anyone above a 7.5. But he kept trying, made some good blocks, and he kept trying to get on the ball. So he gets 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He won the ball back quite a lot around our area. And he was doing a lot of that, winning the ball back and driving. And I actually thought he was one of the players who had a good game. So yeah, I'd give him a 7.5 as well.
Szoboszlai, I'm going to say something now. Szoboszlai will be the scapegoat of this season. I'm telling you from now. When we play poorly, you're going to hear Szoboszlai. Don't know why, but it's already started. And he's played a good game up until today. I can't fault him, but there were a few misplaced passes in previous games and people are already onto Szoboszlai. And today, he wasn't good. I've given him a 6 as well. But I can see it. I can see it brimming. Not brimming, I can't remember the word now. But I can see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6.
I think I'd give him a 5. He would the one good thing I can remember him, 2 good things I can remember him doing. He had a shot when we were the goal down that the defender blocked, and he made a 40 or 50-yard pass that he made. But aside from that, I can't say that he was effective. I didn't see him creating lots of chances. And this is now his second season. I know he's a young player, but for the money paid for him, we've paid for a player that we're expecting to be that guy that will be able to open up games like this that are tight. This is where you need your creative players to be creative and create chances. And he didn't do any of that today. I look back on his last performances. He's had some good moments, but he's also had moments that have been where he's been inconsistent. And I think that's my concern. He's quite inconsistent. Sometimes he's really good. Sometimes you don't hear about him at all in the game. This is one of them games today we didn't hear about him at all.
He's going to be the new Nunes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Diaz. Decent first half.
Yeah, very.
Faded second half.
Yes, I'd agree with that. And thinking about it, maybe it's the travelling that made him fade. But he had a really good first half. He was the one who, I'll tell you what epitomised his first half performance was when he hit the post. Because if you remember, the ball was actually going out. And how he won that ball back, it's crazy. But then to have the foresight to go for the near post, would beat the keeper, but just unluckily hit the post. He had a good first half. But clearly he tired out in the second half. So I'd give him a 7, if anything.
Yeah. I've given him a 6.5. 7. I've given him a 7. I've given him a 7. He faded. His first half was good. I couldn't have fault him in the first half, to be honest. So it'll be a bit harsh. And obviously he got subbed only 15 minutes into the second half, really. So he didn't really get a chance to actually build on it properly.
Yeah.
Salah, I've given him a 4. I thought he was terrible. I'll be honest. It's one of the worst performances I've seen him play. There were some people saying it was really greedy. I didn't think it was that greedy today. There were a couple of chances. There was 2 in particular. where he shouldn't have shot and he should have made a pass. But I just think it was another one of those games where he was wearing lead boots. His touch was off. His running wasn't right. He made the wrong runs. It just wasn't his day today. So yeah, he gets a 4 for me.
I'd give him a 4 as well. The first half, he was playing like a right-sided forward. The second half, he seemed to be playing like a right winger. And I think what happened was in the first half, he wasn't getting much joy from the left back. So what he now tried to do, it seemed he tried to go, he tried to go wider and then affect the game more from a wider angle. But then he weren't seeing the ball. And when he was seeing the ball, he wasn't beating the man anyway. He just wasn't effective. And like you say, his what epitomized it for me was his final ball was never to the player. It was horrible. So short. Yeah, it was terrible. This was definitely not one of his good games. I'll definitely give him a 4. Definitely agree with
that. Jota, he's got a 5 for me. I just think he was not about today. It wasn't it. 5.
The thing for me, I actually give Jota a 4 because whereas I can say that Salah was on the ball and wasn't effective, I didn't even see Jota on the ball. Jota had, I think, one chance that I can remember. I don't remember him having anything else. He was not on the ball, wasn't affecting the game, didn't do nothing to have any changes to it. Nah. I think he was just as poor as Salah.
I look at it, 3 shots, pass accuracy 54%.
Wow.
7 passes out of 13 were correct. Wow. So yeah, that's not good. And we had one big chance today, and that was the one he missed.
Yes.
And only 23 touches in the time that he played, and 4 touches in the box. And in terms of your dribbles, 0%, 0 out of 1, and long balls 0 out of 1. No. So maybe I actually be dropping to 4.5, mate. I'll give after looking at those stats.
Yeah.
Ground drills 1 out of 3. Aerial drills 1 out of 3. Yeah, he's dropping down to that's his game. So his game wasn't there.
No.
So I give him a 4.5.
Yeah, it was poor.
So moving to the subs, none of them were any good. Nunes, what'd you give him?
Nunes, I'm giving him a 4. Nunes, and it's not because Nunes had a terrible game.
You didn't see him.
You just didn't see him. He didn't get the ball. And to be fair, there was one time he got the ball on the left-hand side and he was trying to drift inside.
Yes.
But aside from that, he didn't have no impact on the game. And maybe it's because of how he was playing, maybe it's because of how they were giving him the ball, but he had no impact. So, below average, definitely.
Same. Came on, didn't have any impact. So, Conor Bradley, see, I semi-blame him for the goal, but I also say that because he just came on not long before it, well, it was recent. No, that's not true. He came on before it, but the Hudson-Odoi had just come on. 10 minutes. Yeah, it was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes after he scored. He came on, they scored.
Yeah, he scored. So I personally think that Bradley could have done better with the defending, but at the same time, the right-sided centre-back could have backed him up better. When you know you've got a forward who's like that, then you know you have to back up your right-back to ensure he's not isolated, because he was beaten too easily for it. But yeah, he won't get... I'll give him a 5, if anything.
Yeah, same. Because of the goal, he's got a 5 for me. Gakpo, 1 or 2 runs. For the goal, he should have fouled. A tactical foul.
Yeah.
When Elanga was running through, he jumps out of the way and lets him run across him. You clip his heels. Clip his heels, and you'll get a yellow card, but you're a striker that's probably not going to get a red card. You clip his heels, that's it. So it might be harsh to blame him, but that play's gone if he does that. You just don't let people run through. I hate seeing players let people run through. And I think in the Klopp's regime, he didn't like tactical fouls. Only Fabinho was allowed to. It's almost like only Fabinho and Milner were allowed to do tactical fouls in his regime. Or maybe they were the only people of that mindset to do it, and the rest of the players were too nice, and he was too nice in that situation. So I've given him a 5.
Yeah, I'd agree. And you know what? It reminded me, because I saw when it happened as well, and it reminded me when Liverpool beat Arsenal 4-2, and then Walcott had that run. And I kept on thinking, why is nobody stopping Walcott from running through before he passed to Adebayor? Yeah. It was a similar situation here. One foul blocks off the whole game. And the funny thing is, that's what Forest were doing all game. And we didn't use that to our own advantage. Yeah. But it was smart physical, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Smart physical.
Yeah. Tsimikas and Curtis Jones both came on around the same time, 75 minutes. I'm probably giving Tsimikas didn't have much impact. He's got 5 as well.
Yep.
Same for you?
Yeah, about the same for me.
And
same for me.
In fact, for me, Jones was even worse. I don't think Jones found the player. I think I've given him a 4 because that sub appearance was horrible. It was horrible.
I don't even remember him touching the ball. That's how bad it is. I don't remember him having any impact on the game whatsoever. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Really poor performance. But that being said, coming back from an injury, this might be
it's his first minutes of the season. But I just know Curtis Jones is a confident boy. Or he's not even a boy. I can't call him a boy. He's a confident person. And I didn't see any confidence on that pitch.
No.
I saw him kick it out off the pitch a couple of times. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was a...
You remember that one?
Yes, there was a period of time when we were a goal down. It was the last 10 minutes, and about a 4-minute period, the ball just kept going out. Every time we're booting the ball out, we could not find a player. Really poor. Really poor.
Yeah, so that's been our post-match reactions or ratings. I don't know, man.
What do you rate the manager?
It's got to be a 5. It's his second home game at Anfield. I didn't expect us to lose our second game at home. I think I said in our first podcast, that it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with Anfield, whether it becomes a fortress like Klopp had it, and second game up and he's already lost. So, 5.
Yeah. And I think the thing for me, a lot of people are going to point to the substitutions and say the substitutions are the reason for the defeat, or he should have made changes. Personally, I think he made the right tactical decisions, but the players didn't implement certain things he wanted to implement. But at the same point of it, I also have to look at it that, well, if you can see something isn't working on the pitch, you have to then make those things work. I don't think it was effective how he was using Nunes and trying to feed the ball to Nunes. So after a period of time, when you see it's not working, change that dynamic of the forwards. Because we didn't see Nunes running, trying to stretch the last man at all. And that's his game, running, trying to stretch the last player. We didn't see that at all in the game. So, definitely agree, a 5.
Okay. Well, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Give us your view. Give us your post-game reaction and your ratings as well. And as always, you can catch us on Twitter. And Twitter handle is at Armchair Pundits. Also find shorts of this and our other shows at Armchair Pundits Podcast, and TikTok as well at armchair.pundits. Thanks, Wale, for bearing with this. Obviously, it's the next one to do. I haven't done many Liverpool losses for post-match, and hopefully I don't do many more.
Yeah, God willing. God willing.
Yeah.
Cheers.
But take it easy. Have a good evening.
You as well. Take care.
Peace.